Hello. Yes, we are back, finally. There's another video going on YouTube. I haven't posted in a nice little while, but we've been doing a bit of work in the background, and that's what today's video is going to show you, what I've been doing to get the shed, I suppose, up to where I wanted it to be. So, starting off, I obviously cleaned everything up out of the shed. I had to kind of move an awful lot of stuff around, and what you're seeing me do here is kind of the very first big step, where I power washed everything. So the walls got washed, all the floor got washed. I actually had to wash the floor about 3 different times. You can see the level of dirt that's coming up off of the floor there. I didn't even realise it was as bad as it was, but every time you were lying down on the ground, you were just coming up and your clothes were destroyed, but you can really see it there, the dirt that's coming off the floor. This house and this shed actually used to be my uncle's place, and he had kind of heavy vehicles coming in, lots of tractors, diggers, cranes, all that kind of stuff, and there was an awful lot of work done inside in this shed on all of that gear. So the shed always smelled of gearbox oil as well. So look, it's just, I suppose, an accumulation of everything just kind of sitting on the floor. Probably never really got a wash as good as this. Here you can see my son Noah and Maria doing a dance in the background, so they were giving me a hand for a small while just to get everything kind of clean. So what I wanted to try and do was get the floor good and clean, because of course I wanted to paint the floor. You can actually see some of the stuff coming off the floor here as well. When I zoom in just there, it was filthy, and I actually washed the floor 3 times. This is the second round of it. So yeah, I wanted to paint the floors, I wanted to paint the walls, and we also do another bit of work then outside of that. Still not 100% done, but we've a good chunk of it done, and it's a huge improvement. So I'm going to leave the voice note here, and I'll jump back in a little while on some of the next clips. So with the floors all washed and given a couple of days to dry out, I then moved on to fixing some of the kind of bigger cracks and bigger kind of holes in the floor. Floor isn't perfect by any means, but I just wanted to get the kind of the really big stuff patched up some bit. This is just, I just mixed up concrete, it's nothing fancy. Tried to spread it in to all of those cracks and all of the little bits, and then let that kind of set for a while. And what I did then was I came back with a damp sponge and just kind of softened everything up, or smoothened everything up, so that you wouldn't see it as much underneath the paint. So with all the concrete done, all of the power washing done, and everything kind of left to dry, I then moved on to paint some of the walls. So you seen the last clip, some of them were painted already. So continuity is an issue here in this video, but you can see here I'm just showing you painting on the walls, and then we'll move on and we're going to paint up the floors. So I picked up this kind of two-part floor paint. In hindsight, I probably did this wrong. So this was the very first patch of floor that I did, and it all went down fine. In the next part, the eagle-eyed viewers amongst you might realise or see that I kind of look like I'm struggling to even push the brush a bit. Obviously there's a hardener gone into that paint and it went off super quick. So I think what I probably should have done is actually just poured the whole can out into the floor and probably had like a squeegee or like a blade just to kind of spread it out, almost like a self-leveling kind of a thing, because this was 10 minutes after the hardener went in and it was almost too difficult to paint, and it actually ripped up some of the new concrete in patches. So I stopped and I went back to kind of more of a traditional floor paint just from the hardware store and finished off the floor, and that all looks perfect. So kind of jumping in through time with this video, but shed floor is painted, some of the walls are painted. Still have to do all the back area yet. I need to finish out here to move everything in there back out, and then I'll do all out there. But yeah, the next step, I actually got rid of the kind of big long bench that was there. I kept one small bit of it. I just wanted to have a bit more space for the cars. So at least that's there now. We've all this room for activities. But the next job is kind of a clue, is there is someone completely rewiring the shed for me. So one of the guys is changing everything. So the way the setup is at the minute is that is my only light in the main bay or area or whatever. And then there's one light down there in that back corner. So even though it looks fairly bright now and well lit, it is still bright outside, kind of. But it's annoying. It annoys me that there's not more light here. So that's what we're doing. And we're changing everything. So currently, we'll go at the start, right? So if I want to turn on the light that's up here, I have to come over and grab onto this sweeping brush handle, doohickey, right? And I have to pull it. I have to go, and then lights go off. And then the lights go back on. So that's a bit weird. It's obviously on like a pull cord switch up there. And then I have to walk down here to control the lights for there. That's the light for there, light for the upstairs compartment up there, and then that is a dead switch that doesn't do anything. So we're changing everything and kind of upgrading everything. So so my only two power points are here. So I've got 4 plugs, so 2 sockets in total, and then that's my fuse board. So fairly old school. So we're putting in a brand new board. I don't know really what any of this is, kind of. But we are upgrading the cable. So there's like a 4 square cable coming in. This is a bigger 6 square. So if we do get a lift or anything like that, there'll be plenty of power coming back out from the house. So that's all going to be brand new. You can see there's kind of new plug points going in everywhere. I think we're going from those 2 plug-in points to having 16 plug-in points. And then so the lights we're doing, so I got these, are they 5 foot 55 watt LED lights or something, but there's 6 of them going for the main section here. So you can actually see there's going to be one there, one new one up there, one there, and then the same 1, 2, 3. So he has the kind of lower ones all mounted, and then we have a light there, a light there, a light there, a light there, and I think we're doing 2 down here, or 3 lights down here as well. So 1, 2, 3. So eventually there will be kind of benches and stuff down there. But yeah, things take time. It all costs money as well. So this isn't like a big YouTube transformation of the shed, but it's still decent. Still bits that I wanted to do for a nice while. And we have other bits kind of more outside as well, but we've done like external sockets. That's my barbecue. External sockets out here. I have another one around the other side of the shed down there, and there's another one outside at the back corner down there, and that's where I'm going to put the compressor. But yeah, it's going to be sick. So light, socket, we have all new light switches and everything going in. We're obviously deleting our sweeping pole mod there and having a new light switch up beside that wall there. So yeah, that'll be pretty cool. There'll be some shine off my old puss when all these lights are in. But yeah, I can't wait to see it. Just be grand, like especially in the winter time when the weather is just shit and you come in. It just annoyed me, the lighting in here. It was never bright enough. If you're kind of in underneath the car, there's no light coming in from the side and you just can't see anything. And these ones on the walls will be handy if a lift eventually maybe goes somewhere there. I don't know where I put a lift. But yeah, I also want to move that oil tank. I'd love to get that out of the shed and just have this space here as well. It's not really in the way, but it's just a bit weird. But yeah, we'll clip this together and we'll show maybe Keelan doing some of the work. Keelan! And then, yeah, we'll show you the light difference afterwards. But just have a look at it when we look in the door. So that's how lit up the place is. Yeah. So we'll update you soon. Right, that's all the lights in the main bay sorted. Some difference. I'd noticed the camera pick it up or really justify it, but way brighter inside here, which is lovely. We don't have the backlights done yet. They'll be done maybe next week. And we have all the plugs kind of made off, but the circuit isn't live yet. But yeah, some improvement. I'll just show you some of the things. So there's our new switch. So now I just have to walk in the door and on to go turn off those ones, turn off the main ones, boom, and then everything back on, and we're up and running. Still need to link this light here with this light, and then they'll be on that same plug. But we have, Keelan has the fuse board in, everything kind of done there. As I was saying, the only circuit that's live is the one for the lights, and then once we kind of finish, once he finishes everything off, they'll all come. Just that plug there left to do, but now we have plugs kind of everywhere. All wired, everything is done, all the cables are pulled. Just need to kind of tidy up some of the bits. All the lights back here are made off, which I believe is the term. And then we just need to do the final few bits here. But yeah, pretty sick. So that's power for the external plug and that. I got rid of all of the kind of old components. So the old plugs are gone, the old fuse board which was there is gone. The old 4 square cable, I dragged that back out. That's gone. Kind of everything, all of the old stuff is gone. Still need to take out this light here, and there's an old one back there. But yeah, fair happy with that. Nice little improvement, and I hope the camera picks it up. The difference in here. So I can't wait to just start back into this car. I'm just a freak. When I knew I was going kind of getting ready to do this to the shed, I have to just do one thing at a time. I can't really do like all these different things at the same time. And I wanted to just have the space where I wanted it before I really started working on anything. Still need to paint this wall and finish off that floor there because we took out the bench. But yeah, it's getting there. I hope the camera picks it up. I'm really happy with how all that looks. It's pretty cool. Kind of opens up the whole space. I don't know, makes the whole space look brighter even up on top, even though it's not really space you're going to be using, but I'm happy with that. So I'll finish this, finish the floor, we'll get those backlights done, and then we're getting stuck back into this thing. Hell yes, brother.
And I'm breathless, waiting for you to save me. But it's hopeless, hoping for you to notice me.